Just told that you have to leave for the airport in
no,
5 minutes.
Okay.
So I think if it's fine with you, we start with the Q&A with you. And maybe that's, I give you the chance first to ask Stefan some questions because time is limited. Do we have a microphone? Over here, please.
Hello, my name is Stefan. I'm a traditional film producer, and I have a very, very basic question, maybe even to the two of you, or two questions. One is, I mean, this is very, very fascinating, and the question is producing classical content. Is this something where I would go to you, to the both of you, and spend 10,000 euros and you will promote this film to the most successful film ever made in Germany? Or is this something where I go to you and you will make me a rich man out of the whole community that you are managing?
As I said, we only perform at Google. I can speak for Google. We only perform, we do well when our partners do well. And this is the beauty of the AdWords and the advertising solution at Google. The advertising base is growing so rapidly because they put the money they want to spend for any viewer. If they don't want to spend more than a few cents for viewers or nothing, they are not obliged to. But the other part of the system is to make these content providers, publishers, ready to gain and generate revenues out of that business that is increasing drastically now. And this figure that I shared earlier, that almost more than 700 and more than $900 million last quarter, is just shared with our partners. And this is the whole philosophy. We are not publisher. We are not going to. We don't want to acquire content and make money out of that. We have viewers that are increasing and are demanding for that content. So we are just connecting you with your viewers around the globe.
Okay, you got a mic. Okay.
Hello. Yeah. No, it was more a general comment. I think we have heard a lot of quantity of millions of viewers and millions of bytes and everything, but we don't hear so much about quality, I think, because many of these YouTube, I'm sorry, 80% I think is not such a huge quality, and I think in the film industry, I mean, these youngsters who have been used to see like 3 minutes videos for 5 years, I wonder if they'll be able to see a whole feature film when they grow up.
Let me share you an experiment that we had in France. It's a producer and director who had a very hard time building his project for a film, a long film. He was just out of school in the US. He loved French cinema and the French 70s cinema like Melville and the film noir and so on. And he wanted to do a nice long film with a big cast in France, in French and in Paris. And he couldn't find money in the US or nor in France. So what he did is he asked his friends and he did a very small budget film, but a long film. And he had a lot of creativity and I think quality in it. So he produced it for a very small budget, and he put that online. He said, the only idea, my only need with that is to be viewed. So he posted on Google Video. It's a film with Irene Jacob, Laurent Lucas, Jean-Claude Dreyfus. I mean, some of them are known probably here. It's a 1 hour and 50 minutes film. He put that online for free in France and paid for VOD in the US. And he traveled around and he called me back and he said, Stefan, we need to do like a press conference or a premiere of the film, even though he had been available for months online. And he had more than 800,000 viewers online. He said, I didn't have one theater, nowhere. So we are not, again, to answer your question, and I understand your concern. This is the content is just increasing, and we are not going to judge the content or publish or select the content. We want to partner with France 2 or people or publishers that do that, and that's why we are here with producers, because you are doing the quality job in terms of content. We are not. We are just helping you with technologies and people that are asking for content.
I would also add to that, and something that I tried to make come through in the presentation, there is a discussion about distribution of different types of content within these types of networks like MySpace. But what I was showing more so is the realm of professionally produced content is still the most important thing online. If anything, we're still at the type of phase where communities and networks are more of interesting places to reach your audience. Yes, there are people that rise up from the long tail, but it's great that these are communities because it's the community that's deciding that, and it's 0.001% of everybody who's on there. And don't believe the hype. I mean, most of the stuff that's popular in MySpace are Lost and the OC and X-Men and Paris Hilton and all other types of things that are manufactured by the pros. So, I think it's all about, yes, there's a democratization of it, because it's visible, but a lot of those videos being uploaded, are for people to sort of entertain their friends in their own niche community, and you do have your great user-generated videos that, go out on Google and YouTube and MySpace, but for the most part, there's a massive place for the professionally produced content.
Interrupt for a short minute, and we have to say goodbye to Stefan.
I'm sorry.
Because he's missing his plane. Thank you very much.
We can just meet you.
We have but we can have one or two more questions for Jamie over there. Oh.
Okay. This both would have affected both of you, but now to Jamie. You can see, of course, very well what's becoming buzz on MySpace, like by the traffic, by what people write about, by where people go, like which content people are talking about and how this increases over a short time. And I was wondering, do you already have ways to exploit it commercially and to basically sell what is becoming hot, or to use it in any other way?
I'm not really sure what you're asking exactly, so I just want to make sure.
Okay, so sometimes what happens is, someone puts up content, like a video, and then sends it on to friends. And they see it, and then they pass it on very quickly to many more friends because they think it's great. And so this, of course, doesn't happen with everything, but only with very specific things, which many people find very interesting. And you, by analyzing your traffic, for example, the data, the technical data, you can, of course, you have the potential to see what is becoming hot, what is becoming a buzz, right before the mainstream media, for example, covers that. And so I was wondering, is there any way to make money out of that?
Make money out of being trendy, being a breaker? Well, I think I would answer that in two ways. People have asked us whether or not when we see something that could potentially break, if we have some sort of, back-end revenue deal in it. I mean, MySpace is actually a lot more altruistic than that. So no, we don't have any connections to like these artists on the rise necessarily from any sort of commercial perspective. We're not agents, we're not managers. In that way, we keep MySpace a pretty, again, altruistically creative place for growing and emerging talent. From the other side of things like X-Men that I showed you are commercial deals, and they're worked on with studios that it's a new way of advertising. So essentially what we are is exploiting and promoting content that we're being paid to do in a creative way and inserting it into a networked environment where most traditional marketers obviously don't have any experience yet. So again, there's sort of two different things that are happening on MySpace. There is advertising. What's made it interesting is we have a very opt-in advertising philosophy. We don't disrupt the user experience. And thank God for movies. It's a great and entertaining thing that people love. So advertising them is great for the audience because they want the content anyway. And it's great for the studio because they're capturing the community. So it just kind of depends on what you're talking about specifically within a community site.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think we have to go on. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.